Hello and welcome to Jimmy's Farm. So we're going to have a little bit of a Let's Play series on the beautiful Deutschland map produced by Edo Mods. I've managed to set up our starting farm, which is the base starting farm, but I've done some few additions. So we obviously start out on this base map with the grass field, which is just down here. What I have added is site 21, which is some storage on the left hand side and some additional vehicle storage with a vehicle workshop on the right hand side. And I've also added some fields in field 8, which is an alfalfa field, field 6, which is a nice oat field, and last but by no means least, we have a barley field at the bottom. I've given us some starting equipment, which is currently at the shop, which is a nice bunning trailer, a cultivator, or flexi things if you've ever watched a certain other streamer, Dagoin, who's a massive inspiration, a nice Kubota tractor, a class Lexion 690. I don't have that wonderful telehandler, but I'm also stuck on the wall. We do not have this Fendt. We do not have that Deutschfar. We've got a Bailey bale trailer. We have a 10.8 meter header. We have a mower. We have a baler, and we have a telehandler with a bale spike. So sure, super strength's turned off. So let's get to our field and we'll try and talk about some goals and objectives. So I got this from the used machinery sale, so it does have a little bit of wear and tear, but given the state of the fields, I don't think that's of massive concern, although this harvester feels quite big for this map. But yeah, this is just kind of a relaxed let's play. There are multiple farms on this map with cows, piggies, sheeps, and chittens, which we'll look to progress through. But I think we've got some nice starting equipment. We've got £100,000 in the bank. I am playing with the red tape mod installed, which is obviously going to affect how we position crops on our fields, making sure that we're enforcing crop rotation, and once we do get animals, making sure we treat them lovely, and they don't disappear and they don't want to get run away from us, and also thinking about slurry management and manure management. So yeah, it's just an absolute gorgeous map. It's available on Edo Mods website, and that's the best place to download it. But we're going to try and figure out how we get to our first field, which is going to be one of the cereal crops, so barley, or the... Probably not the best way in, but let's... Probably not the best way in, but let's give it a try as he straight away crashes on a fence post. So someone's just going to try and walk into my harvester. God. Let's try and make it round this bit. Nope, failed. I just don't want to. Is it going to fit through this gateway? We're going to go with the affirmative yes answer. It did fit through the gateway, but I think I've possibly destroyed some things along the way. So what we're going to obviously have to think about is around crop rotation and how we manage this farm. So we're fortunate to have £100,000 in the bank, although it has increased by £60. I'm not sure why. But we are going to have to think about how we manage our crop rotation. We're in a fortunate position where we don't have to sell off the field. So I'm just going to get into our Kubota. I don't think I've turned off automatic start. Crop destruction, yes. Periodic ploughing on. We're going to hurt ourselves with that. Automatic engine start off. This is personally just the way I like to play, with none of the AI items added in. So let's get back. A really decent starting tractor with the Kubota. We're going to take our header with us. I do have manual attach on. Again, just personal preference on how I like to play. So let's add this in. It is a big header for what we currently have in our possessions, but just hopefully allows us to progress relatively quickly. And it's quite good that the farm isn't a million miles away from the shop. If I'll show you the overall map, and you can see where the other farms are. There are two farms just over there. Both of them. One with pigs, cows, and some sheeps, and the top farm, Farm C, has cows, I believe, and a BGA, and Farm D has sheeps, piggies, and chittens. So yeah, quite a nice varied approach. I'm gonna disobey any traffic law here and go up this way because I think this might be an easier way to our field. Just make sure the popo aren't watching. Yes, no entry, I see. And he says it might be easier, and then he drives around a very tight corner. Let's go and try and avoid this farmer's crop as much as possible. Drive through our alfalfa field, which we are currently up. Sorry, terrible driving. Well, that's a shame. A bit of crop damage in our field. We are going to swath the straw as an extra saleable item in our field. We're going to leave the Kubota here. Get it into our wonderful harvester. Attach the PTO. Back up. Walk into the header. Move the Kubota. Harvester in position. Stick on the GPS. As we can see straight away, the yield is not the best. And neither is my harvesting. But yeah, let's get our first barley field underway. Nice little bit of straw coming out. And yeah, I'll speak to you on the other side.
Just giving up when things started getting rough, 'cause I'm just not tough enough. But with you I can't seem to give in. I wanna win this time around, 'cause I'm sick of people letting me down. It's like deja vu. Whenever I'm with you I feel like I've always known. With you I'm home, so then why am I so afraid? 'Cause with you there's something more, you're worth fighting for. So then why am I so afraid? I've always just let it go, 'cause I'd rather do that than feel this low. But with you I just kind of know that one day you will see the missing part of you, me. I'll be patient as patient can be. It's like deja vu. Whenever I'm with you I feel like I've always known. With you I'm home, so then why am I so afraid? 'Cause with you there's something more, you're worth fighting for. So then why am I so afraid? I've been wrong before, even when I was so sure. So now I don't trust myself. Yet with you I can't seem to give in. I wanna win this time around. Yeah, I'm sick of people letting me down. It's like deja vu. Whenever I'm with you, I feel like I've always known. With you I'm home. So then why am I so afraid? 'Cause with you there's something more.
Well, that is the end of field number 1. Really disappointed yield on the field. I think, yeah, we see it 80%, but this seems to be a good bit of the field at the moment. So let's get this harvester in the combine in a position to empty. We will possibly look at using a helper for field 2. Let's turn the engine off on this for a moment whilst we jump into the Kubota and look to get our grain trailer, which I'm hoping will be a lot easier of a process than getting this. So whilst we're here, let's have a look at this field. So pH value bad, nitrogen good. So we're going to have to look at trying to facilitate some fertilizer on the field. We'll probably yeah, I'm not sure whether to take the hit on this field and take the hit completely on this harvest and then look to either rent or purchase. If we're looking to buy a fertilizer spreader, then absolutely fine, we can do that. Yeah, I've just completely, this is the wonderful process. So try not to use super strength that often, but where my incompetence surprises me, then yeah. But yes, so potentially look to buy a fertilizer spreader, seeing what's in the sale for today, or look to rent one and utilize as lime as well for the next harvest. Is two potential options. Main consideration at the moment is let's just get this harvest done. Quite a, said, disappointing yield on that harvest just then. Not gonna change our life in any way, shape or form with that. Oh, again, maybe if I stop trying to take the corners as hard, might not hit things as often. So these are our cultivator and our disc harrow and our Bailey trailer. So let's get this hooked up and let's go back to the farm and empty our machine. So we do have a grass field just below, and as I was trying to refer to earlier, as you can see, B on the top right hand side, so north east of the map, is a big massive cow farm. C is another cow farm, and in the south east of the map you see D, which is pigs, sheeps, and pigs, sheeps, goats and chickens. And then 46, which is right in the middle of the map, or pretty much in the middle of the map, is a chicken farm as well. There's also, next to field 40, there is a cow shed as well, which is quite good. Over on the west of the map is grape areas, which might be an interesting avenue to trying to explore. Sorry, dude. In terms of future expansion, I quite like grapes. I quite like producing grapes, but I think because this is not on ModHub, you don't have to go to the age rating, so you can do things like wine and things like that. So let's open the cover onto our bunning grain trailer, part of the Highlands Fishing DLC. Really, really nice grain trailer, which will be should be in a position to grow with our farm in terms of its size and capacity. Let's get under the auger, into the harvester, and let's empty the contents of barley. So just over 8,000 litres when our first field fitted entirely in our quite a large harvester, to be fair, for this map. We can then look to, I think we might harvest the wheat field as well ourselves, and then focus on the baling side of things. We do also have our grass field down there just to mow, but we do currently only have one tractor on our farm at the moment, and this is the Kubota. So 8,886 litres, so the trailer's about 33% full. We do have our telehandler as well, but that's just going to be for the bales and bags side of things. Just down there, down that road there is the way in, one of the ways into our workshop, where we can conduct our maintenance on our vehicles. There we go, into our silo. Let's get this back up to the field, ready for the wheat harvest. And then we can start to focus on some baling, using our wonderful Challenger baler, which I'm quite excited to use. It has the windrower on the front to be able to sweep anything which we've not included in our swaths, which is not amazing, not really massively effective for our straw, because they are in quite nice windrows or swaths. But when we get into our grass field, that will be massively beneficial. So there we go. Let's get into our harvester, our big boy Alexian, nice 10-meter header, and let's get into field number 2 for our oat. So yes, it's not wheat, it's oat. Let's get our thingies on, and I will speak to you on the other side. Enjoy.
My daddy always had a good running truck, but not as good as his luck when it came to us. He'd come pick me up when I got too drunk. The whole way home, he just drive. He wasn't big on giving advice, but I learned from watching his life. 'Cause a boy doesn't learn from his daddy, from what he tells him, may learn from what he shows. So when it comes to the man I am and how I've grown, all I know is it ain't about what he said, but what he didn't say that set me on the road that I have roamed, and it's led me home. And it's the reason I'm who I am, is what he didn't know. And he taught me more than he'll ever know. And every year he gets a little more, with a little bit of rust and a little worn, just like the truck he had when I was 4. And I was riding shotgun, he was slamming doors of a Chevy truck like a crash course, and how to fix it when the check engine light was on, how to keep it running with the AC gone, how to take the long way home, and how to just drive. He wasn't big on giving advice, but I learned from watching his life. 'Cause a boy doesn't learn from his daddy, from what he tells him, he learns from what he shows. So when it comes to the man I am and how I've grown, all I know is it ain't about what he said, but what he didn't say that set me on the road that I have roamed and has led me home. And it's the reason I'm who I am, is what he didn't know. He knows I love him, he knows that I'm proud, but the thing he doesn't know is what I figured out. 'Cause a boy doesn't learn from his daddy, from what he tells him, he learns from what he shows. So when it comes to the man I am and how I've grown, all I know is it ain't about what he said, but what he didn't say that set me on the road that I have roamed and has led.
Well, that is harvest number 2 completed. A much better yield from the oats, and relatively painless in terms of production. So let's get in here, click that, drop that down, let's fold the harvester up. We're going to crush out our alfalfa for a little bit, but let's leave that here. Drop the 14,116 litres of oat. One thing I did not check, and probably should have checked, is the horsepower requirements for the baler. Just purely on the basis that the Kubota was struggling a little bit with the grain trailer going uphill. So let's not hope it's not too bad. So let's get into position. To dump. I'm sure some of you might have noticed that the money keeps going up by £60 every hour, and I'm trying to figure out why. Nothing that I've done significantly. Let's go in this way to go get our baler. So let's have a look. So let's park this up on the curb. Nice. So let's have a look at our Kubota. So the Kubota has 180. The Challenger requires 180, so it could be interesting going up the hills. In terms of what else is in the sale, so we know we need a seeder at some point, or a drill at some point. So that's a really nice planter there. Obviously a Viro, that's only got 123. That's got up to 140. That's not going to be anything special in terms of what we need. The class has up to 180. New Holland 350, that'd be quite nice. So anything which we take out would probably have to be on finance. That Deutschland 7 Series could be a viable option. Lots of great harvesters, which is not needed right now. That's only up to 142, that Vio. That T9 series, that's a bit too big. Obviously love a Vio, a Fendt tractor on the farm, but let's go for the Deutz, I think, and let's see what the finances look for us. So this is the Warrior edition. We looks a little bit ridiculous with narrow tires, so let's look at the standard tires. Do not need the ISO Pro Compact. Don't need the Warrior edition, if we're perfectly honest. no need for a front loader attacher. So if we put 20% down over 5 years, that's going to be £2,000 a month. Yeah, I think let's get it done and purchase the Deutz. So here is our first new addition to the farm. Yes, it is a used Deutz farm. It's got 10 hours, which is pretty reasonable. And let's drag over, let's bring across our baler, and let's get baling of our straw. What we will need to look at, not close enough, what we will need to look at shortly is our grass field. Kind of goes nice, the Deutz and the Challenger. In terms of colours, I am quite significantly colourblind, so I'm by no means the best judge. Don't have the ability to stack the bales with this baler. So I know there is a version where you can look to stack them into bales of 4, I believe. Not the best point of view for driving from cab in the Deutz. Nice and quick to get around town too, which will be beneficial when transporting things. But we do have the Kubota as kind of the workhorse, probably in and around the farm. This will probably have to do the heavy lifting in terms of the farm work, but two really good tractors to help us move forward. There is quite tight at this bit. And this is another way into our farm. Really good sound effects of doors, the dogs. I did notice as I was doing the harvest at midday, the bells in the city centre, in the town, were going off at 11:59, which was just adds that extra little bit of immersion. So an absolute top quality piece of work on this map. So I'm not sure how wide this is in terms of Challenger, so 14 meters, nice. So let's unfold. How do you unfold that bit then? So I'm not sure how we 220. Not that we need it on this. Not that we need it with the swaths, which are on this, but yeah, let's do some baling. We're going to use the 220s for the time being, just purely because I forgot to make it any bigger before going. But yeah, let's get this field baled and ready to go. We're probably going to look to sell this in January, the bales. Certainly to supplement our income. We've also been trying to think about what we do in terms of fields. So we do have the one down there, potentially thinking of getting some animals in there. So we do. I'm not sure at the moment whether to go with goats and sheeps, or just goats or just sheeps. I think it's nice for piggies, but we don't necessarily have anything to feed them at the moment. If we do go down the cattle option, then we will need to get some silage as a bare minimum to feed them, or turn it into hay. That's the other potential option, but those will probably come at additional expense. So let me know in the comments what you would potentially consider as the best option going forward. But yeah, I'm going to leave this on hopefully a short time lapse while we get these fields done. It's currently 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm quite pleased that we've managed to get the bulk of the harvest done. Well, all the the harvest done in terms of combining work in a relatively short space of time. So now we're just into the baling side of things. So yeah, enjoy. Speak to you on the other side.
Hey, 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 oh, hey, hey, oh. On the road down, just off of the interstate, past the white lines where the fields roll and the rivers break, you'll find a four-way stop sign, a church on the corner, and a dairy bar. Right in the middle of nowhere, it's the middle of everything I know. The dirt that made me Friday night lights, back road crazies, all those prayers from mama that saved me. I'm grateful for the voices that raised me. I owe everything to that hometown, from the front porch view to the red dirt ground. Oh, I'm grateful for the voices that raised me. There's a bonfire by the river every Saturday. Just one more song till the sun breaks on a new day. I've got friends there, and if you need some, they can be yours too.
Oh, well, I eventually managed to figure out how to move this